changing lives.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie, and it's wonderful to be in the studios once again to discuss yet another very important topic. Before I go into what we have on the table for discussion and introduce my panelists to you, I'd like to remind you that you can stream live on Facebook and YouTube Hope TV Ghana. You can call a friend to call a friend, so we can all tune in, listen, and watch. This show is a very interactive show, so I would encourage that you leave your comments under the comment section, and I will do my best to read some of your comments as the story goes on. You can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928 *34 *104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donations to Hope Channel at 0249 193083, and automatically you become an angel of hope. God bless all of you that are always continuously donating to support the work of God. We are very grateful for that. You know, going to school is already a struggle to pay attention to your books and make sure that you come out with good grades. Make sure that the money that your parents or your guardian is spending on you in school is not wasted. Imagine the stress on its own, and then coming into contact with a lecturer who has made it his life desire, his life purpose, to just frustrate your life. Very often we hear stories from female students who are being pursued by their lecturers, and the consequences they face is either you give in or your grades suffer, or sometimes you do not even graduate because that lecturer will make sure that they keep failing or trailing you until you are able to not pass out of school. And sometimes too, rather unfortunately, if you're a guy and you find yourself being friends with a female that a lecturer is interested in, it's another wahala altogether, because the lecturer will make sure that they disturb you. This one is, what is it called? Collateral damage. You have no room in what is going on. You have no take, you have no advice as to whether the girl should agree or not. But just by the fact that you're close to this girl, the lecturer will decide to make your life miserable, because in his mind somewhere he thinks you're the one encouraging the girl or discouraging the girl from moving on with him, or probably you are the boyfriend in the picture, and so he will decide to frustrate your life. And it's rather sad that as a student who is going to study and come out of school and just forge ahead with your life, you find yourself in such a very unfortunate situation. And it's a topic of people with authority taking advantage of their authority and then just meting out punishments that are not deserved. Today we are going to look at a story just as I have described, and we are hopefully going to try and find solutions or tips that this young lady or gentleman can use to get out of this situation. I'll go ahead and introduce my panelists to you. They've been in the studio before. I have two joining me in the studio and two joining me virtually. They are no strangers. I'm sure Josephine, you know her. Josephine is like a constant on Real Talk. Mrs. Josephine Owusu-Adjei. Josephine, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
How has your week been?
Very relaxing.
Very, eh? You're on leave, Kakara?
Yes.
So
I'm just relaxing at home.
That's good, because it's stressful. And Josephine would have first knowledge in this conversation because she obviously teaches and she probably has heard or seen something like this before. And then Eddie Edusei. Eddie, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Evie.
How has your week been?
I'm very tired today, and I'm not feeling so well.
Oh,
but
so sorry.
all is well.
Wishing you speedy recovery.
Amen.
We have Zoom guest joining us. That will be Brenda, but I haven't heard from Brenda yet. I think she's finding it a bit difficult to connect to us, but immediately she does, I will. Oh, Brenda, I can see you. Looks like you are connected successfully. How are you doing? Unfortunately, I can't hear Brenda. I don't know if it's from my end or it's from her end. Brenda, are you muted? Okay, I still can't hear you. Can you speak up a bit for me? Maybe that is what is causing the problem. Hello, Brenda. Ooh, I can't hear Brenda. I'll try and get back to you, Brenda, and I'll try and then fix the sound issue so that we can all have the conversation. But these are our panelists. I have Eddie, I have Josephine, and then I have Brenda. And we are going to talk about the topic we have titled, Our Lecture is Bent on Making Our Lives Difficult. Let me go straight ahead and read the story, then we can dive into the conversation. It says, Dear Real Talk, I am in a crisis in school with one of my lecturers. He is known all over campus as the strict, no-nonsense lecturer who would fail you with no regard for anything. My childhood friend and I are both in this university together. She's my oldest and best friend. We are practically like siblings. We study and hang out together on campus, and we are in the same classes because we are doing the same courses. The issue is, this particular lecturer is interested in my best friend. He has warned me to stay away from her or face the consequences. I have explained that she's like a sister, but he says that's all the lie or the boy's tale. This man went to the extent of purposely failing me and embarrassing me every little chance he gets. What's even worse is my friend isn't even interested in him at all. She's always nervous when we have his class. He keeps asking her to wait behind after lectures or come to his office. But I always stay behind with her because she's begged me not to leave her alone with him. This obviously will lead to him punishing me for it one way or the other. My grades are suffering and my friend is also scared. What do I do to help my friend and at the same time save myself from being his punching bag? And how can my friend handle this unwanted attention from this married lecturer? Oof. Brenda, let me try again. Can you hear me? Hello, Brenda, can you hear me? I can see you saying yeah, but I don't know what is going on. I can't hear you. Ooh. Can you say something? How are you doing, Brenda?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I can hear you. Is it a bit low? So raise the volume up a bit so that I can hear clearly. But now I can hear you. How is your week? How has your week been so far?
So far so good. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Okay, Josephine, you teach, you come across students, you hear these things, and you are a university student yourself as well. And I'm sure you probably heard on campus, there's this lecturer that say he asks for him when he comes to like here, you say no, you make your life miserable. We hear these things in school. What is your general take on this story?
Okay. I think the issue is about a lecturer who wants to abuse a student by virtue of he being a lecturer because he has power.
Right.
Okay. And another side of the story is he's interested in the student.
Right.
He's interested in the student, and the student is not interested in him. So we have both sides.
Yeah.
Yes, basically that is how the story goes.
Yeah.
And I think by the end of the story, we'll be able to delve into it and analyze it and get to give solutions to the guy who is suffering.
Right. Let's discuss this young man's, Eddie, I'll come to you and take your general take, but let's discuss the challenge the young man is facing with this lecture. Why do you think people in authority take advantage of their subjects? You know, this is not the first time you are hearing this. It happens in offices where bosses, because they know they have the power, will try and force themselves on their subjects or people who are working under them. And if you say no, it's either they'll make your life miserable or they'll put you on some projects it's just misery, literally. And with this one, someone's future is at stake. The boy's future is at stake and the girl's future is at stake. So these are two people that he is messing up, if I should say so. Why do you think that people in authority, in this case the lecturer, is abusing it so badly?
Naturally, we have people who try to always abuse others. It runs through families, workplaces, our homes, churches, wherever that we find ourselves. Yes, we have people that they are naturally, they'll try to impose their power on others.
Right.
Yes, by virtue of he being powerful. Yes, so that may be one of the causes. And in this case, the students don't have anybody to speak to. You see, they don't have anybody they can confide in. There's nobody who is trying to work for them or speak on their behalf. So in this case, the man thinks that he can do anything. It's like an orphan who doesn't have anybody to speak to. You see, so people try to abuse others because they think you don't have anybody to speak to.
Right.
You see,
right,
you don't have anybody. Wherever that you are going, where are you going? Even if you want to speak to someone, is the person ready to listen? Can the person fight on your behalf? So people find causes. They try and screen through families. If I beat you, where are you going? If I'm a lecturer, if I'm doing it, whom are you going to? Okay, so he feels that the students are vulnerable and there is nothing the students can do. So in this case, he can abuse them.
It's rather sad, and how you put it is so spot on, Josephine, because exactly who are you going to? And even if you go, what can they do to him? So they feel untouchable.
Yes.
And it's sad to find yourself in that situation. Eddie, I'm going to come to you and I'll take your general take on the story. What is going through your mind and to the point that Josephine has raised? Okay, let's discuss the challenges that students go through with people in authority.
These are things that when we're all growing and we're all going to school, especially in our tertiary level, we used to hear some of these things. Maybe I didn't have a female friend who is going through that, but I heard it. Yes, and it's very unfortunate. I am always sad because when you take about 10 of these cases, about 9 are coming from male lecturers. So it puts us as men at a corner that is not very lovely.
Right.
But it means that when we have these opportunities in these institutions, we just go there to mess up. So it indirectly means that people who are good at teaching now is female because they basically will not go the extent to which the male lecturers or teachers will go. It's unfortunate, and I'm also seeing a male student who also can do something about what is happening.
Yeah.
But is failing to do the needful.
Okay.
Because this is about your academics and your future.
Yeah.
And when I read through the story, if I am a disciplined young man, I think going forward we'll be talking about some of these things.
Yeah.
I should be able to come up out of these things with ease. But it looks as if the measures that I expect the young man to take, he's not actually taking. So going forward, we will list some to him.
Okay.
So that he will get to know what he's supposed to do to come out of this.
Okay.
Now you asked the second question, which is the challenge. Yes. So his challenge is that he's going to fail. That's what I see, because looking at the whole story, it's like he has pegged his own future against friendship, and then what the lecturer would do. And when you read the story carefully, you would understand that he's not ready to lose the friendship.
Yeah.
And it's affecting his grades, it's affecting everything. So the challenge he's facing currently is that if he doesn't take care, at the end of the whole academic journey, he's not going to earn anything good. Some of these lectures, for all you know, he'll be teaching you from level 100 to 400. Some of these lectures, for all you know, he'll be teaching you from level 100 to 400.
Like
and at the end of the day, you will be failing in every subject. So I think going forward, we will discuss and share some good ideas to him on what he's supposed to do.
Right. Brenda, I'll take your general take on the story, and then if you have any more to add to the challenges that the young man is facing, and also with regards to people in authority abusing their power.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So this situation, I have been in this kind of situation before, but what I would say is As a young lady or as a young man, if you're facing this kind of situation, you just have to fight for yourself. Sometimes you just have to speak up. Find someone that you can talk to, even a lecturer or like a headmistress or assistant headmistress or anyone that you can talk to. So as we are going forward, I think we're gonna learn a lot of stuff and we can provide a lot of support.
On what to do, right? Okay, now let's come to the crux of the problem. How can he protect himself, Josephine? This guy, how can he protect himself and still protect his friend? Or you think he would have to choose one? You know, it's either I'm choosing my life or I am going to still protect you and you will all suffer. How can he do that? Are there ways where he can protect himself and still protect his friend? Or he would just have to choose and say, you know what? Say, me and this girl, I don't know her from anywhere, so that he doesn't suffer. What can he do?
He can protect the two.
He can?
Yes.
Okay.
It might be, probably he's also interested in the lady.
You never know.
But it's what he stated in there, so we can't assume.
Right.
He can confine with in other people whom he can speak to, okay, about the challenge. When you speak up, then you find solutions to it. If you're not speaking up, nobody will know what you're going through. So he can find other people who are also in higher authority that he can speak to. In every institution, whether you're a lecturer, whether in a high school, junior high, or the tertiary level, there are disciplinary committees for teachers, okay, or for lecturers. When you speak up to someone who is also in authority, they can investigate in the matter that you are going through.
Okay.
And then they will find a punishment to the lecturer. You can't do things anyhow and go scot-free just because you are in authority. So if he can find someone whom he can trust and speak to, definitely that lecturer will be reported and they will investigate and find the necessary punishment to him. And in that case, he would be fine in the institution that he finds himself and protect his friend as well. Yeah.
Right. I absolutely agree. But are there the schools? Do they have departments? Do they have the right way to address these issues? Or you go and tell one lecturer, you confide, and because he's friends with the lecturer, goes to tell them that, hey, these students are saying this and this about you, and the lecturer hears it, and ripple effects. Do you think schools have put in place the right departments, the right counseling, whatever structures that allows students to go there and address their grievances, and it's done in a confidential way that it doesn't come back to the students?
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
There are units.
Okay.
Although some lecturers are connected to other people.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they are even in a team and they are doing the same thing. So when you go and report, it's like you are reporting all of them.
Yeah.
But there are structures put in place that if you are going through such situation, you can go and you report. They will just have a committee set up to investigate about what you are going through. If you have evidences, maybe you have some recordings or you have some pictures or you have certain evidences showing that maybe he's disgracing you, he's embarrassing you, or he's failing you, or he's beating you up, or he's having sex with you or something, whatever that you are doing, he's doing with you. You should have evidences, okay, so that even if they are investigating, they will be able to find the necessary punishment to the person. You can't say you are being abused and you are just sitting down, you won't say anything, and the lecturer is just doing things anyhow. Recently, I think in Ghana, there was something happened in the University of Ghana, and there was a committee that set up an investigative something to investigate about a particular lecturer. Okay, and in the end, they didn't find anything faulty about him. Okay, yes. So if there is something faulty and they find it, fine. There are sometimes that you will just be tagged with something as a lecturer. And you've not done anything wrong. In that case, when they investigate and there's nothing faulty, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if there is something faulty too, they'll punish you. Sometimes they'll hold your position for a period of time for you to just be on leave, and you will not be doing the previous activities that you were doing as a lecturer. Okay. So there are certain things that you can do. Just that when something is happening, you should have some evidences.
That's true.
Because if they are asking and they are not getting it, nothing shows that he's doing that to you.
That's true. That's true. And it's good about the evidence as well, because not to take away from the topic of discussion, some people lie.
Yeah.
Some people will lie about lectures and say he's done this, he wants to sleep with me, and you ruin the person's reputation and his job. And so we've had even rape. We've had instances where women have lied and they investigate and the guy finds himself in prison, and so it's good that they work with evidence. But I'm just glad that there are institutions or structures in place that will help that student. But Eddie, how can this guy protect himself and his friend? Or you think there's no way? You think he should choose himself? Choose yourself first and forget about your friend.
Not entirely choosing himself. You see, from the story, they have been friends from even their houses before coming to school, and so there is a way out. The prime evidence is the lady.
Okay.
The lady is the evidence. She's actually the one the man has been throwing these advances to.
That's true.
Now, when you go to the university setting, we have chaplains. Even in the public universities, we have chaplains. We have dean of students, the registrars. They have those structures, guidance and counseling unit.
Yeah.
That all some of these things can go through. You cannot tell me that between the chaplain, the guidance and counseling unit, the dean of student affairs, your HOD, all these people will compromise one way or the other to what the lecturer is doing. Definitely, there will be that one person who doesn't second to what the lecturer is doing. So I believe that in their reporting, the lady should be involved. This should be a matter that he shouldn't take it up alone. He should take it up with the lady, because it is because of the lady that he is facing what he's facing now.
Absolutely.
Now, to protect themselves, I think for now, I would suggest distance and will also help. Once she has always been your friend, even in your hostels, in your home, she's always your friend. So what is actually bringing the trouble in the sight of the lecturer, avoid it. I don't know if I am making some sense, because if Eve sees me with Auntie and then she thinks that she's angry with me because I'm going out with Auntie, then when I meet Eve, I'll try to avoid Auntie to save situations, because at a point the lecturer will ask the students to wait.
Yes.
I will give that respect and also move out. I will actually give you a message that I am waiting somewhere here. Because once you know in your heart that the lady is not ready to give in, don't stay to cause trouble for your own self. Because the moment you stay, the lecturer will also feel that you don't respect. I didn't ask her to stay and then you are staying behind. Okay. So whilst you are seeking refuge or you are seeking redress from the university leadership, you also try to practice some kind of respect.
Okay.
So the lecturer will ask the lady to come around. You don't go with the lady. You don't go. There's no way the lecturer is going to force the lady to do anything once the lady is not interested. And if he goes that extent, he knows the consequences. That amounts to rape and others.
Yeah.
Because you cannot just force somebody to have your way with a person.
Yeah.
So I am advising the young man that because he was in the school purposely to achieve his grades and make it, and now the grades is really suffering. And then your parents are not going, at the end of the day, are not going to understand the fact that you say one lecturer has failed you entirely because you were friends with this person. In the sight of the lecturer, try to give the respect and avoid the lady. But behind the scenes, on your phone, in the house, everywhere you find yourself, you can be talking and then be finding ways you can solve the situation with the lady through the university administration. And at the end of the day, if they investigate, because in the university sometimes they are also like Ghana. Some investigation can take like 6 months.
I mean,
yes, but at the end of the day, if you are able to prove, you are going to have your way out. So I am actually advising. I am worried because of the grades that the gentleman is getting, because we all know the university setting. It's really going to affect the final thing you are going to have.
Yeah, because
so if it takes like 3 semesters to be getting this result, it means if it's a receipt, You are going to rinse it for 3 times, and it's not going to help you.
Even if
so,
it's not, it affects your class.
Exactly. So you come to school for just 4 or 3 months. So try to, for the 4 3 months, some 2 hours that you'll be avoiding the lady in the sight of the lecturer. Comport yourself. Do that whilst you seek the redress through the university. I think if he does that, his grace will not suffer, because now the lecturer will accept that, okay, the gentleman has now moved away. And now he'll be doing his things to get more evidence. Then the lady will be getting more evidence, which you can even present to the university for more of these redress. But if you still be there, then your grace will also continue to suffer.
Right. I do understand what you're saying, Eddie. Brenda, I'm going to come to you and I'll ask you obviously the same question. How can this young man protect himself and then protect his friend as well? Or you think he has to choose himself in this case, protect himself, and then make sure that he is not drawn into his friends, his best friend's issue? And you mentioned something quite interesting. You said that this is something you faced, a woman. I don't know if you're willing to share some of your story to just educate people out there. Just be thinking about this, because I'll come to you and ask you the same thing. But yeah, Brenda, how can he protect himself and his friend? And then if you would like to share some of your experiences as well.
Okay, thank you. So first, you have to document everything that keeps on coming, you know. When you have conversation with a teacher or like anybody, keep a record of any incident, including conversation, actions that indicate the lecturer is involved with you. And also seek support. Reach out to the facility members, student counselors, or university authorities. Also report the behavior. Don't just keep it to yourself. Talk to someone. And I said before, like, we all face this kind of situation, especially over here. Sometimes you go to school, and when you are in class, being black is like a different thing. And you have a white teacher, like, you just have to comport yourself all the time, because we all know that they don't like you. And being black is like a different situation. So you have to make sure that if the teacher don't like you, you have to seek support. You have to find someone who understands you, like someone who can help you throughout the whole academic, because failing is like a different thing. If it keeps on happening, like, you're gonna fail throughout the whole semester. And you have to seek some support from a family member who can talk to the teacher or like the lecturer.
That's rather sad that racism is so bad that you have to avoid any sort of interaction with the teacher that would lead to him disliking you any further. And it's so sad that you're facing that, Brenda, and I am praying and hoping that she gets out of it without any severe consequences, and you have the support that you need. But Josephine, going to school, I know I won't mention the university you went to, but it's one of the big universities in Ghana, and with a lot of people, and you've probably heard a friend or two talking about how this lecturer is chasing them. And you've also had friends too that want lecturers to chase them so that they'll get easy grade. You know those people too, so that you get easy grade. So they are the ones that want the attention, and they are the ones that are running away from the attention. And for some weird reasons, it looks like the lecturers like going after the ones that they are sitting in their corner avoiding that situation. I don't know if you've ever faced it, or you know someone that has, that you'd like to share with us.
Okay, personally, I never faced such, but I know of someone who faced such a challenge. I think in level 300, we wrote an exam. All our grades are in. All the students, almost all of us, and we're going to level 400, the final year. And a friend of mine came to tell me that one of the courses, her grade is not in. So she decided to chase. In our time, if you don't get it on time, to affect level 400, and you'll be completing. Right. So she decided to chase the grade up and see why it's not yet in, it's not appearing on her transcript. She went to the lecturer's office severally, and she came to report that the man wanted to have an affair with her before she can release her grade to her. And then what could we do? I think that time we just prayed. We started praying for her. She was our fellowship member, so we started praying for her. And later she came to tell me that the grade is in.
Oh, thank God.
Even during that time, she was, and what the lecturers don't like is she was dating a student.
I think that's what the problem for this guy, you know.
She was dating a student.
Yeah.
They don't like that thing at
Yeah.
all, because they feel the students are not financially sound. They are kids, and you don't like them. Those lecturers who are financially sound and they feel they are matured.
You don't like them.
You don't like them, and you like your fellow students. They don't like that thing at all. So that my friend was dating a student who was ahead of us a year. And
that's even more annoying.
Yes, and you are not interested in a lecturer. You don't want to do that because you're a Christian, and you want the grade to also come. Okay, so we just prayed. She didn't heed to what the lecturer was saying, and we prayed, and the grade came. We all graduated.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is that is why it's It happens a lot. It happens a lot. We have some who are even married, and then when their wives, there was another case. The wife was on vacation. She traveled, and then we were on vacation in the university, and he wanted one of our mates to come and spend the vacation with him.
Oh,
in his bungalow. Yes, she came to share it with us. So it happens a lot.
Yeah, it just happens. It's rather sad. Eddie, have you been a friend to a lady that a lecturer is chasing on campus and you have become collateral? Or you've been warned that, hey, you, stay away from
But possibly I might have seen that this lecturer doesn't like me. But unfortunately, he wasn't teaching me.
Great, thank God.
Yes, because when I was in university, I was the choir director for the university choir.
Okay.
So, you know, for us choir directors to hear one meeting. So there was this particular lady who was always almost my soprano. She's always almost around me because she likes this solo thing.
Yeah.
Yes, but I felt that there's this lecturer, a very young lecturer, who was interested. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he has always been giving me this eye. But fortunately, he was teaching in a different department, and I was in a different department.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, so I didn't suffer. But you see, these things, as a Christian here, I condemn it, but it is normal in our setting. I don't know. It's becoming something that society even doesn't want to talk about again because they feel it's just happening. Yes. So had it not been that this gentleman feels abused and then he's bringing it up, if this lady likes, meaning the case is closed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then nothing is going to happen. And if this lady had liked, it will have a serious impact on the gentleman. Because they have been friends for a very long time, it's going to be very difficult for him to disassociate entirely
from her.
And then now knowing that the lecturer, also knowing that he has had his way, it's also going to be some way.
Yeah.
But then me, I will take this opportunity to advise. I'm worried. I'm still worried because it's a male lecturer, and these things have been said about male in power for a very long time. That when we get the opportunity up there,
that's where the Me Too
all
movement
our ladies down us become the prey. Like we just disturb them like that, and it shouldn't be the case.
Right.
So on a serious note, in our institutions, these are happening.
Of course.
And then we pray that some of these men. My point that worries me is that he's married. And you are married and you are actually chasing this little child. At the end of the day, your wife will also come in, and then her life will be in danger. It's really bad.
It's rather unfortunate. We would have to go for a quick break. But you see how this lecturer is so comfortable. It makes me believe that this is not his first victim, if I should say. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at what the lady can do and how she can do it safely without facing further consequences from this guy. And probably I'll share my personal story of lecturers chasing students on campus. We'll be right back after the break. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
angel of hope.
I'm an angel of hope.
Ubrenio, so do Sika a Baba Boho channel. No, so ya sene, yet me a mere some a cock main chia saw in Choromina, or Daroma, Farmain, Nafa Sika Fasubi, not also for Bra, Nico Kanyamsem, and ya cra a wonkwa. Star 928 star 34 star 104 hash. And I say 0249 193083. Hope channel, yes, it's Sabrabo. Hope channel, yeah, Gia Cranomqua.
Hello and welcome to Hope Channel, and of course to your favorite program, Watch These Signs.
As long as you are not in that boundary, he will do all kinds of things to protect you so that you continue to move. There are times some things should have happened which should have crushed you to death, but because of the power of God, to give you extra more time so that you can consider the issues of eternity. From things
On the farm.
verse 23.
Yes, and that was when the Pharisees came, then he made this statement. And that is the same response people give today. That the Sabbath law says, thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do this, don't touch this, don't go to market, don't. And so people use this text to tell you that even Jesus.
Hello, people of God. Blessed Family Chorale, in collaboration with Bakma Kwa Nigeria, presents its third edition of Hymns and Prayer Service, happening on the 27th of August 2023 at ICGC Calvary Temple, Accra, Sphinx. Time is 5 p.m. prompt. Ministering are Symphonious Choir, Bakma Choir, and Harmonious Chorale. It promises to be a worship and prayer-filled experience in the presence of God. Entry is free. And remember, time is 5 p.m. prompt. See you there.
We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie, and I have been doing this with Eddie, Josephine, and Brenda, who is joining us virtually all the way in the US of A. I want to read some of the comments, then we can go in. Gerald Eagle says, my friend, stay focused on your education now and be saved from troubles. If she is definitely for you, the time will let her for you. Let the jealousy go within. It won't be easy, of course, if someone is going with your loved friend. Take it to God in prayer. Gerald, I don't think the guy is saying he's jealous. He's just saying the girl is his friend. Gerald is thinking the guy has other ulterior motives. Helena Answer says, my dear, please, I think you should stay off of this your friend for now, for your own sake. You guys can talk on phone or when you are in your hostel. Since you can't find this lecturer, better explain things to your friend. She should understand you, and she has to be in a better position to tell the lecturer that she is not interested. Think about your education. Think about the money you are spending on receipts. Your friend should understand if she has your interest at heart. Jake Bella says he should also report to the highest authority of the school. This bully has to stop. Only cowards behave like this lecturer. If you like a girl and someone else also likes the girl, what do? Are you not supposed to do your best to win her? Wait, he is married. He has more to lose when this comes out. So please, your future is in your hands. Don't let anyone bully you. and stay true to yourself. Report him to the authorities and let them have a look at your papers. He failed you, or let social media do the talking for you. Akosia Nana says, "Bra, you need to have an aim in life. Oh, take your studies very serious, even if it requires distancing yourself from people. Do it. You are in school to learn and acquire knowledge, and not for friendship's sake." That's with regards to what I think it was Jake who said about social media. Recently, there was a report in Nigeria where the students went on demonstration with this same issue, that a lecturer is forcing them to have an appropriate relationship or he'll fail them. So they had the cards out and they had written, "Say no to this, we won't sleep with." They mentioned his name, so if it's lecturer, so we won't sleep with lecturers, all over social media. So that's where, and the girls came together, meaning he had tried it with several women, so they came together on campus and they were moving around with their cards and making noise. And it was all over social media. This is a way that we sort of Ghanaians, sometimes we are fear with these things. You say, "We do," you get to the point only you are standing there with your card, everybody else run away and left you. But in regards to what lecturers do with chasing little girls, so university, I'm not really a little girl, but women on campus, personal experience, there was this lecturer that at university, I was very tiny, so I didn't know what this man was looking for, because I mean, there's nothing. There were women with bigger that he should have gone for. And he said, "Oh, meet me at my office." And I'll go after lectures, and he said, "No, he closes at 6 p.m. I should go to the hostel and come out. I'll go and sleep, I won't come." The next day, "You are a very disrespectful girl. I told you to come to my office." Then I always choose a time that people are around. I go, say, "Did I tell you, go and come back?" So I stopped going, and at that age, I didn't know how to stand firm and say, "No, leave, I won't do it." So what I did was hide and seek. I knew how to dodge. If I see this lecturer coming, I'll pass it, or I'll just be with a group of friends. And I started affecting my studies. So he will mark, and then when I saw he had given me a mark, then he had cancelled it and given me a lower mark. So what I started doing was, I don't write my name on my paper, just my index number. And he didn't have it offhand. So after that, my grades were okay. They were okay. Then one day he came and then he gave everybody's paper to them. I didn't have my paper. I said, "Who is 10, 12, 47, you know?" And then I raised my hand. He said, "You don't know how to write your name." So he realized that it was me. You. And that backfired. But God being so good, I spoke to my mother about this man. And my mother is very prayerful. So she decided to use his name as a topic of prayer. And she kept praying, kept praying. Now this man wasn't marking our papers anymore. He was giving it to his TA. Okay. And that's how I got out of the issue. So sometimes, like I say, in prayer, that's work. If you're afraid to stand up to him and go through all those authorities. But don't be like me. Don't be a timid and then be dodging. You are in school to learn and have freedom. Why are you passing here and passing here? But Josephine, let's come to the, it's funny, right? Let's come to the crux of the issue. What can the lady do to stop these unwanted, attention and advances without facing the consequence of "I'll fail you, I'll mark your paper," all those things? What can she do?
I think she should report. She should speak up. Someone who is also in authority.
Right.
So that she can confine it. Because if she's not talking, nobody would see what she's going through. So she needs to speak out. And she after reporting she should have evidences that the man is worrying him. Because when you go out and you are saying that he's worrying you, what are your evidences?
Yeah.
What shows that he's running after you, or he's chasing you, or he's interested in you? So she should have evidences. If there are text messages, if there are calls, if there are pictures, okay, that would depict that yes, he is doing this to you.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So he should speak out, and then she should also have evidences that they can stand on and make some judgmental or some investigative issues about that. And I think after all, she should pray too, because prayer does a lot of things. If you're not praying enough, nothing would come out. Even after going through the physical things, you need to go into the spiritual. Speak. I mentioned his name, lecturer, so doctor, this, that. I commit you to this. That God should deal with you, because we say vengeance is of the Lord. I can't do it on my own. So I'm speaking, I'm praying, and I'm mentioning your name. And that's this, that. God should deal with you. And God can do anything. There's nothing that is beyond him. And as you are praying and you're doing your physical things, definitely he would stop chasing you. Okay.
That's true. I am so glad you mentioned with the type of prayer you're talking about, because my mother specifically said that her prayer was, God should blind that man. When he sees me, you even know that this is you coming.
Yes.
So sometimes we have to be very specific as to what we want and then pray. But Eddie, the guy is asking what he can do, but like you said, this girl is the reason why he's in this issue. How can the girl stop the man from, going ahead and making sure that she doesn't face the consequences of, oh, you say you don't like me, I'll fail you, and I'll, all those things they threaten you with.
See, the thing is that I found myself working with several institutions, and in every institution, there's that one grown-up female who doesn't tolerate some of these nonsense. In every institution, there is that one female, either a lecturer, administrator, something, who doesn't tolerate some of these nonsense. And then when some issues of this kind gets to them, they will go all levels to get it sorted.
Right.
Yes, so that's why I'm saying they know their institution and then what goes on there. So they should try to absorb the institutional structures. If this place fails, move to this level. If this place fails, move to this level. Because if you don't do that, and it becomes between you and the lecturer, your strength goes nowhere.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, he will mark.
Yes.
You will write God and you will go and mark it as
you need supporters.
So and then this is involving two people. That's why I'm saying that they are a strong evidence on their own. Because the guy is suffering indirectly and the lady too is suffering. So they should team up and then get a redress for this very thing. But as we are saying, as you are going through this, you also pray. That's also your own form of challenge. And then you need to pray. When challenges come, we do pray.
True.
Yes, so that is your own form of challenge. Others are going through a whole lot of challenges that sometimes when you discuss yours with them, they don't hear. So take it to the Lord in prayer. And then actually pray about it. It's very worrying, but that's all we can do.
I know,
so
right?
as you are absorbing the university structures, your department, everywhere, and then you see, because it's involving grades, I think they can also call on the exam committee or the exam unit to also look into, ideally, if the marks they are getting is what they are supposed to get. Yes, that one too is possible. So they mark the papers and then the lecturer will be called to prove it, that you have complained continuously. In fact, I've seen a lecturer that I had an encounter with in the university, but for 3 semesters I was getting a particular grade continuous in my portal. I reported. Yes, though it wasn't about some of these things, but I reported, and the department took it on. That consistently cannot be possible. At least the grade should even go up or down. But
it does copy and paste.
A particular grade, and then we know that this student we've had issue with. Then let's look into it. But at the end of the day, I don't know, when my side it happens, I saw that I think after a year he wasn't in the department again. He traveled. So some of these things you have to go. The structures will help. Then the exam unit to also come in, because you are saying it's affecting your grade. It means you believe in yourself that you are doing well, and then this is the results you are getting. So nothing stops you. Sometimes you can even put the issue aside, go directly for a remarking. And then let's look into it before you even bring your.
This is the reason why.
This is happening, and then that will help us. So I believe that, and then the lady should be bold to tell the lecturer. Me, from the story, I'm saying that the lady has informed the young man that she's not interested in a man.
But she hasn't necessarily.
But with the man, I think she hasn't informed the man.
Maybe she's afraid, like me, who will be running around.
No, you don't have to run around, because he's a man, and then you are supposed to tell these young girls that are coming. They've been telling us they don't like us. So you should be able to tell that, sir, please, I am not interested in this.
That's true.
And then possibly you pray, and then God will do the rest for you.
I believe so. I think timidity in this situation, sometimes, I was having this discussion with my husband today about how sometimes growing up, our parents do not have the conversation of how to say no, and stand your ground and boldly say it. We don't necessarily teach our girls how to do that. We grow and we figure it out ourselves, and
they turn that into disrespectfulness.
So it's like,
and pride. It's like you are proud. When you are saying you don't like something, you are proud. Or you are disrespectful. Keep quiet.
When you are firm in our society.
Yes. If you don't like it, just say you still like it.
Exactly. And that is what affects us when we get into situations where we have to say stop. Because she can confidently tell her friend. But when it came to authority, you see she is. It's like she's afraid, she doesn't know what to do. Brenda, I'm going to ask, how can the lady stop these advances? Any practical ways you think she can go about it? And also, because our time is fast spent, I'll take your final words and ask you, do you think this lecture can be brought to book?
Yeah, so as the lady, you have to set boundaries between you and the lecturer. Avoid one interaction with the lecturer, especially in private settings. When she calls you to come, like, you have to find a friend who can escort you, and then you have to just avoid one-on-one contact with the lecturer. Involve others. Share your concern with any of your classmates, the lecturer, any of your the school leaders. You can share your concerns with them. Involve them. They have to know what is going on. You have to get evidence. Let the lecturer know that you are not afraid of him. You have to speak for yourself. If it keeps on happening, involve your parents. And also, my last final harassment is sometimes, a bully. When I was in Ghana, in SHS, I was facing this kind of situation. I have to quit school for like 6 months and find another school. So it's kind of like, a bully is kind of bad. Even classmates, sometimes they will bully you. You have to speak up for yourself, stand up for yourself. That's what I have to say.
That's true. Harassment is bullying, and rather unfortunately, some people are not able to stand up to bullies. But we've learned that the only way a bully can stop bullying you is when you let them know that you're not afraid of them and take back your power. But yeah, Josephine, what are your final words? And then do you believe that this lecture can be brought to book?
The lady should speak up. Okay, she should speak up. She should find supporters. She can't do it alone. So she should find people who are ready to support her. She should find evidences. She should be firm. She shouldn't be scared. She shouldn't be timid. Okay, and the guy too. In the sight of wherever they are going for lectures, he should just stay away from the lady. Okay. And he can speak on phone with her without the lecturer getting to know all these things. Okay, so whenever they see the lecturer, he should just stay away from the lady so that he will be at peace. And the lecturer, whatever that you do, you will never go scot-free in life. Yes, even if nobody sees it, you will get the consequences of it. So whatever that he is doing, wherever he is, and whoever is doing that, whatever that you are doing, God has seen you, even if nobody sees you. And in the end, you face the consequences of it. Yeah. There will be a day that you go and chase a lady and you will be caught. Yeah. Yes, that day the military people or the policemen would arrest you. That's true. So he shouldn't think that whatever that he is doing, he will do and do and do and nobody would see him. There will be a day that he will be caught. Yeah. So he should just put an end to it. He thinks now he has authority and he can do whatever that he wants. There will be a time that he will be arrested. Yes.
And to the lecturer, this is from your fellow lecturer. She's telling you her peace of mind. You should do better. Yeah, Eddie, your final words.
My final words is that I believe in prayers a lot. So prayers will do a lot for them. So as Christians, they should commit this in prayers. As I already said, it's their own challenge that they are facing as young people. And then for the gentleman, I will always say, give that respect to the lecturer. Whenever he invites the lady, be away. I believe that he cannot do anything physical to the lady without the lady's consent. Right. If he does, it's an abuse, and that one is even serious than what's happening now. That's true. And then for the lady, I still recommend that she uses the approaches of the department heads of the guidance and counseling units, of the Dean of Student Affairs. Even sometimes SRC could help. You have a women's commissioner within the SRC. Yeah. If you cannot take it up, sometimes you don't even know where to go. Speak with the students leader, the women commissioner. This is what I am facing. What can we do about that? And then at the end of the day, you would see that a result will come from one of the angles which you are approaching, and it's going to help.
Thank you so much. Let me take these 2 comments, then we can go. Teresa Ejuba says, report him to the sexual harassment committee at your university if you have one, or a sympathetic lecturer. This is from Seventh-day Adventist Church at Adawumase Central.
Yeah.
He says, okay, he says, cowards. Why should he stay off, especially when his friend is also in danger? Isn't there a remedy for this attitude of the so-called lecturer? Aren't there avenues to seek redress from the sexual harassment on the said lady and purposely failing and embarrassing the guy? Bro, stay with your friend and use appropriate means to put the lecturer to order. It's about time we encourage people to fight for their rights rather than running or hiding or coiling back into their shells like snails. After all, the lecturer has everything to lose if this is reported, which may even include his job.
It's a church's account.
Yeah, it's rather interesting, isn't it? Yeah, we have some live comments. Let me see, maybe I can take one before we go. Which one can I pick? Okay, this one says, Charles Crunchy says, we are watching you live from UK, Manchester. God bless you. Christina Tindede said, lecturer-student immoral relationship affairs for me is most delicate and dicey. Yeah. As much as some lecturers are interested in this game to satisfy their evil desire, in the same vein, the ladies too manage to lure lecturers by hook or crook to get through examination results. Yeah, I mean, there are always 3 sides to the story, your side, my side, and the truth. And that is not to say that some ladies do not make it their main purpose that they will follow lectures and then get results, good results. But at the end of the day, the lecturer in power, I think you have the ultimate decision that you're going to allow this to happen or not. And to the lecturers who have made it their desire or their main purpose that every student's year, every batch that will come, they will find students that they would disturb. Like Josephine said, you'll be arrested one of these days. Your car will be full. But then the more serious note, let's be better. Like Eddie clearly said, he's worried because it looks like when men get into certain positions, then they take advantage. Most of you are married men with children. I doubt that you'll be smiling if your girl child comes to you and tells you, Dad, there's this lecturer that has made it his desire to make my life miserable. I am studying, but he's failing me. I doubt you would enjoy that. And whatever you sow, you reap. It's rather unfortunate that it would happen to your child who had no knowledge. But even the Bible said it's your generation to generation. Let's just do better. And if we are in position, protect the people under us. You know, these are young girls who are trying to do well. Protect them. The boys who are protecting the girls, that should be when you should be encouraging them that you are doing well, you are taking care of your friends, you are protecting them from, but you rather take it out on them as well and you punish them. I mean, we've said this over and over and over. It looks like people who have decided to be evil will just continue to be evil. But we pray that this guy and girl find a solution and this lecture gets what is coming, because it's getting out of hand. Thank you guys so much for coming, Eddie, Josephine, and then Brenda. Thank you all so much for watching. And we'll be back same time next week with another interesting story. Thank you all for being with us last Sunday as we had our awards and fundraising night. It was a beautiful event. Thank you all so much. Finally, I'd like to say that you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donations to Hope Channel at 0249-193083. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Evie as usual, and we'll be back same time next week with another interesting topic. Please do enjoy the rest of the content or programs on our channel, Hope TV Ghana, and do have yourselves a lovely evening.